We are back on these recording videos. Now, on the Zoom sessions, we have covered some topics of chapter number 1. Those were prime factorization method. The other name of that is fundamental theorem of arithmetic. Then, the use of the prime factorization method to find HCF and LCM of the given numbers. Topic number 2, HCF and LCM of two numbers are there, then one relationship is there. You know that HCF into LCM is equals to the product of those two numbers. We have seen some practice sums related with these topics also. Topic number 3, we have learnt Euclid's division algorithm, the continuous process of Euclid's division lemma, that is known as Euclid's division algorithm, and it actually helps us to find the HCF of two numbers or maybe three numbers. We have seen some of the examples, and you know the practice sums were also given. Then we have covered topic number 4, some problem sums related with HCF and LCM. The only thing we have to remember that if we need the greater number than the numbers we are having in the sums, then we have to go for LCM. If we want to find a smaller number than the numbers we have in the sum, then we have to find HCF. Then topic number 5, A actually covered the concepts of rational and irrational numbers. We have actually seen the types of rational numbers and type of irrational number, and some of the practice sums solved related with what the classification of rational and irrational numbers. Now today we need to learn topic 5b, that is conversions of decimals into fractions as well as fractions into decimal. This is the revision. We have seen all these type of sums in standard 7th, 8th and in standard 9th also. First of all, let's see how to convert decimals into fractions. As you can see in the example, the first thing, we are converting terminating decimals into the fractions. Two examples taken, and I think they are more than enough. 0.7, you can write 7 by 10. For 7.53, you can write 753 upon 100. So according to the decimals we are having, we can put the number with that much of zeros, that many of zeros actually, in the denominator. 0.7, it has one decimal point, so we are putting 10 in what denominator, and in the numerator we are writing the number without the decimal point, that is 7 by 10. The similar thing we are doing with 7.53, that is 753 upon 100. Now we have seen in standard 9 how to convert non-terminating but repeating decimals into the fractions. Now we have taken some examples over here. Let's have the first one, 0.27 bar. Actually 0.27 bar is nothing but 0.27272727 going on and on. So we are assuming 0.27 bar equals to x. So we can write x equals to 0.272727 going on and on. Now as you can see in the sum, two numbers are getting repeated, 2 and 7 both. So here we are multiplying both the sides, LHS and RHS, with the number 100. Listen, if one number is getting repeated, you need to multiply with 10. Three numbers are getting repeated, then go with 1000. Here two numbers are getting repeated, so we are multiplying the LHS and RHS, both the parts, with number 100. So the next step, we have written 100x is equals to 27.272727. Now remember, to write the second step, for the convenience of the calculation, you should put the decimal just below the decimal. See, 0.2727 and just below it 27 point. So the points are actually just exactly below the point there. Now we need to subtract equation number 1 from the equation number 2. We are getting 99x is equals to 27. So can I write x is equals to 27 by 99 by using the transposition rules? So now by simplifying it further, I can get the value of x is equals to 3 by 11. What was x? We have assumed x in place of 0.27 bar. So actually 0.27 bar is equals to 3 by 11. 3 by 11 is the fractional form of the 0.27 bar, which was the decimal form. Let's move ahead with the second example. That is 5.79 bar. Look at the number. The bar is there on only number 9. So actually the number is 5.7999999, moving on and on. So now I am assuming x in place of 5.79 bar. So I'm writing x is equals to 5.79999, going on and on. Now as we can see, only one digit is getting repeated, that is only number 9. So here we are multiplying with number 10, as we have discussed earlier, in left hand side also and in right hand side also. Now we are multiplying with 10 here. So in the second step we are getting 10x is equals to 57.9999. Mind well, we need to keep the decimal point just below the decimal point for the calculation conveniency. And then we have to subtract equation number 1 from equation number 2 to get the result 9x is equals to 52.2. Using transposition, I can write x is equals to 52.2 upon 9. That is, x is equals to 522 upon 90. And the simplification leads us to the answer 29 by 5. So now 5.79 bar, the decimal expression, has the fractional expression 29 upon 5. So using these steps, we are converting the decimal numbers into the fractions. Some of the practice sums you can see. Convert the following decimals into the fractions. See, this type of sums are not there in your textbook because they are believing. We have seen these sums in standard 9th, so you know all these things. In the board exams, they used to ask this type of questions so many times. So it is good to solve this type of sums. So these are the practice sums. We have to convert the given decimals into the fractions. You can see some of the decimals are the terminating ones, and some of the decimals are given in the form of non-terminating but repeating. We have seen both the methods, and I hope you can convert these decimals into the fractions easily by just having a look on the examples discussed earlier. Now it's time to learn how to convert fractions into decimal. The only method to convert fractions into decimal, that is known as simple division method. Let's take the examples. If the fraction given 2 upon 5, we need to divide 2 by number 5. So we are just dividing 2 divided by 5. Now just by dividing it, we are getting the answer 0.4. So that is the decimal expression of the fraction 2 upon 5. Similarly, we have the second example over here, 17 upon 8. So we are dividing 17 by number 8, and using the simple division we are getting the answer 2.125. That is nothing but the decimal expression of 17 upon 8. Now then, let's have some special cases. The fraction given 23 upon 2 cube into 5 square. How to convert this type of bigger numbers into the decimal form? Listen carefully what we are going to do, and you can see over here also. In the denominator, it is 2 cube into 5 square. So I want to get 2 cube into 5 cube in the denominator to get 10 cube there. So one extra 5 needed, so I'm multiplying with number 5 in the numerator as well as in the denominator. So numerator will be changed into 115 and the denominator will change into 2 cube into 5 cube. That is nothing but 10 cube. So the final step I am getting, that is 115 upon 1000. Now this fraction I can write in the decimal easily, that is 0.115. So some mathematical smartness required to convert the fractions into decimal. Not only the division, but just little bit of smartness also required. Let's have the other example, 6 upon 15. 6 upon 15, by reducing them, we can get the answer 2 upon 5. And as we have seen, 2 upon 5 is nothing but 0.4. So 6 by 15 is also 0.4. So we have seen the conversions of decimals into fractions and fractions into decimal. But one important magic of maths we need to actually figure out here. Listen carefully. You know that how to convert fractions into decimal, that is simple division method. But if I do not have to actually convert it, but just looking at the fraction, can I decide which type of decimal I will get? You know, two type of decimals are there, which are rational actually. The first one is the terminating one. The other one is, non-terminating but repeating one. The decimal with that bar, you know that. Just by looking at the denominator of the fraction, we can decide which type of decimal we will get. If the denominators, prime factors, are made up of 2's or 5's or in the combination of 2's and 5's, then it will give me the terminating decimal expression. And if the prime factors of the denominator are other than this, other than 2's and 5's, maybe some other numbers are there with number 2 and 5, then definitely we will get the non-terminating but repeating type of decimal. So this is what the magic of maths you need to remember. To understand it better, let's have some of the examples, or we can actually have the first example which is there on the top of the page, that is 23 upon 2 cube 5 square. 23 upon 2 cube into 5 square. Look at the denominator. It is in the combination of 2 and 5 only. So we will get the terminating decimal, and after the solving we are getting the terminating decimal 0.115 as the answer. Now, using the magic of maths concept, without performing division, we need to decide which type of decimal you are going to get in the following practice sums, whether it will be the terminating one or non-terminating but repeating type of decimal expansion. How you are going to decide it? Check the denominator, and if the prime factors of the denominator is in the form of 2's or 5's or in the combination of 2's and 5's, then 100% we can say that we will get terminating decimal expansion. Otherwise, we are going to have non-terminating but repeating type of decimal.